The state of Georgia is considered a leader of the growth of the electrical vehicle industry in the United States. Here in Clarke County, the Sustainability Department is working on Project Fast Charge, which will create community charging infrastructure in Athens. If approved next October, funding will be provided by the U.S. Department of Transportation's Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Grant. The DOE refers to EV charging infrastructure planning as a way to set communities up for success for the national transition from gas-powered vehicles to electric-powered vehicles. This effort is being spearheaded by two members in leadership at the department, Director Mike Wharton and Program Support Specialist Hannah Chafee.
One of the main issues that comes up with people switching to EVs comes down to range anxiety, like people who are afraid that they're not going to make it to their next destination. And I think a large part of what we're trying to do is try to, ease that so that way we have enough chargers in Athens.
According to Chafee, the county has about 670 electrical vehicles registered, which is about 0.7% of the total registered vehicle population. The percentage is expected to grow about 1% each year until 2050. Compared to implementing charging spaces at various locations, charging infrastructure tackles the community transition to EVs on a wider scale, solving problems and addressing needs specific to the community.
Athens is also unique in the sense of, for this area, in that we have a lot of inflow into the county. So we have to consider not only are we serving our own residents, but are we also supporting other people who travel in and out of the county, who also spend money and drive economy.
One local owner of an EV is Sally Coonan, who is a member of Sea Change Conversations Athens, an organization that seeks to educate others about climate change in a nonpartisan approach. Coonan shared her experience as an EV user and why this infrastructure would be personally impactful for her.
So in the meantime, I would be looking for places I could go around town to charge my vehicle. And they were really hard to find. But when I heard about this idea, I was just like, this is fantastic, because this is, where you could park your car and go into work and come back and it be charged.
I asked Coonan if she thought the community charging infrastructure may serve as a sort of motivator for more Athens citizens to purchase an electric vehicle.
Yeah, I really do, because I think the way it is right now is that you really have to have at least a two-tier charger at your house to make it doable.
While the patterns show that EV adoption will continue to rise, some consumers may have concerns about the high prices of these vehicles. 12 out of 14 of the sites proposed by Project Fast are in federally recognized disadvantaged communities. Chafee and Wharton acknowledged that while these communities may not be able to purchase EVs today, the department is thinking about the future needs of the Athens community.
We're not in any illusion that people who are struggling financially will be able to buy EVs. But we want to make sure that when there does become a secondhand market, they have access to EV chargers, which are very difficult to install in a house when you're juggling all other financial systems.
We also have to keep in mind that our low-income population, our traditionally disadvantaged populations, are often rental, and they move from place to place. So being able to have a more ubiquitous, comprehensive charging system decreases that issue, because now if they move from one place to another, they still have charging available.
This aspect of the proposal is what specifically motivated third-year UGA student Jordan Smith to sign her support of Project Fast Charge. Smith, who studies international affairs, political science, and environmental economics, explained why the emphasis on infrastructure in disadvantaged communities is important to her.
And Project Fast, I think, from what I saw, focus on that. They were aiming to add more EV chargers, not just to Athens community, but to disadvantaged communities, which will just allow overall more people to be able to access more chargers, but also maybe encourage more disadvantaged communities to maybe buy an electric vehicle and have access to all of that. And so that's how I first heard of it, and that's why I want to support it.
Because the windows of time for grant approval are small, the department wanted to gauge community support ahead of time as part of the grant request. Wharton said they are surprised by how quickly they got the amount of support they did, with over 100 signatures as of September 6th.
It's kind of interesting. There's those that want to save the globe, and it's great, and there's those that just want to save their neighborhood. And either way, it's still going to matter.
I feel like I'm always surprised with how open people are to sustainability. I think your natural instinct is people will always push back, but people really surprise you. That's really nice.